Number 2, more composite figures. So first we need to identify the different figures that make up the composite figures. Also, don't forget we want to make sure we're going to use 3.14, and we're going to round to the nearest tenth, which is one place after the decimal. Identify the different figures that make up the composite figure. Again, this is like you guys know, I like to say like slice of bologna or our can of soup. So this is our pack of bologna or can of soup. So this is going to be a cylinder. And then at the top, I like to think of it as a cylinder pinched off at the top to make it a triangle, which is a 3-sided figure, which sounds super weird, but that's how I memorize the formula. So this is going to be a cone. And I'll explain that in a minute when we get down to the formulas. So for the cone, like I said, it's a cylinder. So it's 1/3 big BH. If you want to find the simplest formula, I'll be honest, as you're studying, that is going to not help you at all. So maybe understanding that this is all cones and pyramids, this would work. But again, the big B depends on the shape of the base. In this case, that's that circle. The 1/3 is what I was talking about, the 3-sided figure. We made it into a triangle. And I think about, if you've ever played any like rec sports, those white water cups that you can get out of the Gatorade tanks. And then when they get stepped on the ground, they take a cone and they turn it kind of into a triangle. So we're going to take our circle for our big B. So that's pi r squared. And then we need our height, because that's going all the way up. So this is the same as a cylinder, pi r squared height, because that's our bologna, how many are in the stack. But because we pinched it, we're going to divide by 3 or multiply by 1/3. In this case, we do have the actual height, so not the slant height. If it was running down the side, this would be your slant height. Nobody takes the height running down the side. So just be careful when they give you that information, and we'll work on that a little later in the week for some more practice, that you have to then use Pythagorean theorem, because hopefully you see that this is our right triangle, and get the vertical height. So height is always up and down. Okay, so our radius is a 7. So we have 3.14 because that's what the directions told us to, instead of our pi button, 7 squared. Our height in this case is 7 as well. And then we're going to divide by 3. And then that's just going to give us our answer. There's no crazy extra math. It's not like a hemisphere where we cut it in half or anything fancy of that nature. We're just going to use our formula. And again, be careful. Like I said, I like to kind of break it down to make sure. And it's 0.2. For now, I'm just going to leave that. And then we're going to divide by 3. And we end up with 359. And it's 0.00667. So at that rate, 359 is going to work, because 0.00 would leave us with 359. This is feet cubed, because it is a 3-dimensional figure again. All right, volume of the cylinder. So pi r squared is that one slice of bologna. We're finding the area of that one slice of bologna. And then how many are in that stack? So pi r squared, we have 3.14, because again, that's what our instructions told us to use, not the pi button. If you use the pi button when it tells you to use 3.14, the answer is incorrect. Not even by like a lot always. Sometimes it is a lot because it says multiplication and it'll round in really fast. But sometimes it's just by a hair. Either way, not correct. Read slowly. Make sure you look for those instructions. So your radius is going to be 7 squared again, because it's the same. That's still that circular base. It's just at the top is where they have it marked. So it would still be 7 down here. And then times the number in the stack, which is going to be times 6. So 3.14 times 49, because that's 7 squared, times 6 is going to give us 923.16. which if we round it to the nearest tenth, as our directions tell us, that's going to be 0.2. So then at that rate, we have 923.2 feet cubed for our cylinder. So it's going to be 359. Again, we're adding them together because all we did was stack a cone on top of a cylinder. 359 plus 923.2 equals 1,282.2 feet cubed. Hopefully you're seeing where this is not that much different. It's just a matter of making sure you see the shapes that built the entire shape. Most illustrations are fairly good at showing you your base. Sometimes not always. So sometimes you have to think a little creatively. Reach out if you have any questions, guys. I'm here to help.